Alright guys, what is going on? Lux here from the MD Journey. I am going to be quick. This is my last call day of my whole medical school career, so I am going to take you guys with me. I am running late, but yet I'm still going to make this intro, but I'm just going to take you guys with me, so let's get to that intro. Alright guys, so I'm going to talk to you as I get stuff together, but basically as I mentioned, today is my last call day of medical school, and we'll talk about more of what a call day is for all of you guys from familiar, but I am currently on my cardiac ICU rotation, which means on my call days, my team, including me, my intern, my resident, will admit all the patients that need to come to the ICU. And so that means reading up on their history, taking an H&P, presenting it to my attending, and then coming up with a new plan. And you kind of stay a little bit later than you normally do, so I'll probably stay till like 7 or 8. It's not a 24-hour call, but it is currently 6:30, and call days usually start around 7 o'clock is when you can start admitting patients. So as I mentioned, I am running late, but I am going to quickly go see my patients. I'm not that slow when it comes to seeing patients and writing notes. Have my morning coffee, have my lunch. I think the only thing left to do is take you guys with me. Obviously, I'm not going to show you my patient encounters, but hopefully you guys enjoy it. So let's get to my call day. Last call day. Alright guys, so I'm going to talk while I'm driving. Hopefully the sound isn't bad, otherwise I'll take this part out. But as I mentioned, your call day, you're kind of there, you're kind of accepting new patients, but you're also responsible for the old patients that you've kept since your last call day that you haven't been able to discharge. So that's kind of where I'm rushing to right now, is to see my patients before we start getting busy and admitting new ones. Regarding how often you have a call day, it really depends, but usually the typical schedule is to be on call every 4th day. So you have your call day. Your next day is what we consider to be your post-call day, and those are actually really busy because now you're taking care of your largest patient load that you're going to have, because you're taking care of all your admitted patients, all your older patients, so you're going to have a big list on your post-call day. That's when you come in early. That's when your attending gets to know everybody for the first time too. So those days are pretty draining. Then you have your post-call. That literally just means the day after your call. Hopefully you've discharged some people on the first day that maybe weren't that sick. You're kind of tying up some other people ready to go home on your post call. And then you have your pre-call, which ideally is when you don't have that many of your patients left. The majority of them have been discharged, and you're getting ready to start your new call day. Ideally you leave early. It doesn't always happen that way. But today is my call day, my last one ever. Super excited. I always actually like call days because you get to admit new patients, you get to practice taking your history, and you also start practicing thinking of diagnoses. The rest of the days you already know what the patients have, and you're kind of doing similar things for them in terms of treatment. So call days are actually pretty fun, as long as they're not too hectic or too boring. So cross my fingers that today will be relatively decent. But I will catch you guys on my way to the hospital.
One eternity later.
Alright guys, so I am done with my last call day ever. I am really tired. It is about 6 o'clock and I actually technically got out early. But I am going to go home, change out of these scrubs into some comfortable clothes, and kind of tell you all about what a call day was like for me and kind of tips I have for you guys when you are on your first call day. So let's get to a quick wardrobe change. Alright guys, so I am changed and now I'm ready to talk about kind of how my last call day of my medical school career went. Honestly, it was actually pretty slow. You have good call days and you have bad call days, and it really just depends on how many patients get admitted to your service. almost every single of my call days on this rotation have been to the point where we've gotten anywhere from 4 to 5 to 6 admissions in the daytime. And then you have a resident that admits patients overnight. So by the time I get there the next day, we have anywhere from 12 to 14 sick ICU patients. And so today I only had really one patient that was admitted. And so again, my job, like I mentioned earlier in the video, is to go see them with my team, evaluate them, make sure I look up on their history, and then come up with a treatment plan for them, and then get ready to present them as my patient to the attending. Usually you do it sometimes on the day of your call day because your attending is still hanging around. This patient actually got admitted to us pretty late, so I'll admit them tomorrow morning, or I'll present them tomorrow morning. And the patient I had was actually a transfer from the normal ICU to the cardiology ICU. So he's pretty complicated, has a lot of things that's happened to him since he's been in the hospital. So my job today, and this is what I typically do on a call day, so a tip for you guys, is read about what your patients have. You get really humbled in medicine, especially when you admit a patient, you realize you're not really comfortable with the disease they have, conditions, or the treatment they're getting. So I have a patient that has an endocarditis, a vegetation bacterial infection on one of his heart valves. That's something that I obviously have dealt with before, but now not to this extent. It's actually pretty severe, life-threatening, where this person may need a procedure done to help. So one thing that I like to do is I like to print out like review articles on some of the topics and some of the treatments, and then I usually just skim through them the night before. That way the next day I kind of have both a better direction on who the patient is because I've read about them, but I also can have a treatment plan just in case we have no idea where we're going. And you feel a lot more comfortable. You can kind of follow what your attendings and your residents are discussing. And so that's what I'm going to do today, tonight. You know, thankfully, like right now it is 6:30. Whatever, you guys can see that. It is 6:30, and that's actually pretty early for leaving on a call day for me. So I'm going to use most of this time to kind of read up on the patient, read up on those articles, get a good night's rest, because again, may have a lot of patients admitted overnight, so I just have to be ready for a full house tomorrow. So that's kind of how a call day goes. My tip for you guys is to just always be on top of things, be ready to learn, make sure you read about your patients the night after you get home. You know, if you get home really late, then try to get your sleep and just maybe quickly look up some stuff on Google, find a PowerPoint that's really easy to kind of go through, or just ask your residents who can kind of easily teach you the material. But call days are exciting, guys. I'm not going to say that I'm sad for not having another one until my first year in residency. For now, I'll take the vacation. But they're great because you always get to try out the parts that I think a lot of us enjoy of being a physician, which is seeing a new patient, coming up with a diagnosis, trying to come up with treatments. A lot of times in med school, you're kind of dealing with patients that already have a treatment plan. So call days are great. I absolutely love them. So hopefully you guys enjoyed being on my journey today with my last call day, and I will see you guys in the next video. So stay tuned. If you liked this video, then go ahead and give it a like down below. Comment below with any questions you have or future videos. Quickly want to mention, in September, we are doing a 30-day challenge of a video every single day. Super excited, but for topics, I need your help to ask me questions, things you want me to go over that I haven't in previous videos, or things you want me to elaborate on. But unless you want me to just kind of come up with 30 different topics that aren't relevant to you, ask me what you think is important and put those in the comments below. All the people that comment on my YouTube videos are always entered in my bi-monthly giveaways for my books on my website, as well as other things that I have in mind. So comment below, like the channel if you enjoyed, like the video if you enjoyed this video, subscribe to the channel if you want to stay updated with weekly videos, as well as the 30-day challenge, where we're going to have a video every single day about med school and pre-meds, and just about how to do well without kind of being stressed out on your medical journey. So thank you guys, as always, for being part of my journey. If you have done all those things that I just mentioned, but if you haven't, graciously take you to kind of join the community. So yeah, like, share, subscribe. I'm gonna stop babbling now, but I will see you guys in the next video. Take care, my friends.